What's going on, growers? It's James Pigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 crops you gotta get planted this month. Let's go! April is here, the sun is out, and it's the perfect time to plant some cucumbers. There is nothing more refreshing than grabbing some fresh, cooling cucumbers during the heat of the summer. This year, I suggest you plant some burpless varieties of cucumber like the tender green. They're less attractive to the cucumber beetles and they're less bitter. Cucumbers like the soil temperature to be between 60 degrees and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. If the soil temperature is 80 degrees, they will only take about 3 to 5 days to sprout. We'll drop a cucumber in each one, then just cover it up and water it in really quickly. Then we'll cover it with a lid. Cucumbers are a warm season crop and they hate the cold. So starting them too early can set them back before they even get going. They grow fast and can become root bound quickly. Plus, they're sensitive to transplanting. I have found over the years that once the temperature is right, cucumbers will explode into growth. You can set them out early, but they'll just kind of sit and wait there until the heat comes. Young, healthy cucumbers planted later always surpass old plants that were transplanted out too early. In early April is when I direct sow my peas. Nothing compares to grabbing fresh snap peas right off the vine. Not only do they taste great, they also look beautiful and come in different colors besides the standard green. I love the look and taste of the purple peas and also the yellow ones. Before planting, I like to soak my seed in water for 24 hours. This will help your seeds to germinate quicker and help the rate of germination. When planting peas, I place them 2 to 3 inches apart. Then I go back and push them in to a depth of 1 to 2 inches. After that, I water them in. In about 2 weeks, they should sprout and you will see them pushing out of the soil. In the past, I have had problems with birds eating my young pea shoots. Now, I use this insect netting to protect the peas and it's made a huge difference for me. I have an area that's up against a white fence that's perfect for early spring peas, but when summer comes, it just gets way too hot. Snap peas are so great for fresh eating, but make sure you plant some snow peas as well. Another crop we can direct sow in April is spinach. I have grown some beautiful spinach plants in my raised beds, and early spring is when your spinach plants will really thrive before the heat of the summer causes them to bolt. Spinach seeds don't stay viable for many years like tomatoes do, so I suggest you buy new spinach seeds every year or save your own. I also suggest that you soak your spinach seeds for 24 hours before planting. This will help with germination. What I like to do when planting my spinach is I'll put this down because I like to grow in the square foot method. I'll make my square just with my hand like this. Then when it comes to spinach, you can plant 4 per square foot or 9. Plant 4 if you want the plants to get larger and 9 if you want to come out and regularly snack on your spinach. So I'll make 4 holes like that. I'll take my spinach seeds and I'll let some of the top ones just get pouring out like that. Then I'll grab some and I'll just plant a few in each one. It's simple to do, it's easy, and it will greatly help with your germination overall. This one I missed a little. We'll drop it in like that. Then we'll just water this section in and we're planted. Your spinach seeds should sprout in 5 to 9 days. After that, I thin them out to 4 plants per square foot. Spinach grows quickly, so soon you'll have nutrient-packed greens for a salad or for cooking. Next up are carrots. These were Tuck's all-time favorite veggie to both dig up and also snack on. We love orange carrots, yellow carrots, red ones, white ones. The varieties are endless. It's pretty funny. I even have some carrots here that made it through the harsh winter that are still good. This one doesn't look great, but some of these other ones are still actually pretty good, like this one. Let me crack it open. Look at that. That's still actually good eating. I'll even take a bite. It's got some dirt on it, but you know, a little dirt never hurt. Crunchy, delicious, and I can't believe that survived the hard winter. Carrots can be tough to get good germination, so let me show you a trick I use with just this board to get good, consistent germination. When planting, I use the square foot method and sow 16 carrots per square foot. I make a slight indentation, not deep, just enough to cover them with a little soil, 4 rows of 4. Then I drop a few seeds per indentation, come back and cover them with a 1/4 inch of soil. Next, I water them in. Then cover the area with the board. Your carrots should start sprouting in about 1 to 3 weeks, so check them regularly. Once you see them popping out of the soil, remove the board. After my carrots sprout, I go through and thin them out so I'm left with 16 carrots per square foot. Growing carrots with a nice shape is a lot about having soil that's loose and rock-free, so when the roots go down there, they don't get obstructed by things. A little prior preparation of your bed will allow for this. For me, I just use my own homemade soil, so this stuff is loose, carrots love growing in it, and it just works fantastic. Late April is a great time to get your squash planted. I suggest growing summer squash varieties like the Costado Romanesco zucchini, the golden custard squash, and white scallop squash. Also, consider winter squash like the butternut, which is practically immune to vine borers. If you're starting squash indoors, use a relatively large container because they can get root bound quickly. They prefer soil temperatures above 70 degrees Fahrenheit and will sprout in about a week under those conditions. Once seedlings have 2 true leaves, that's a good time to transplant them. It's always better to be a little late rather than too early. You can also direct sow squash in early May and even plant a second round in late June or early July to keep fresh plants growing. Let's move over to one of the quickest producing crops you can plant in April. I'm talking about radishes. A fresh radish from the garden is cooling, juicy, and isn't too sharp. I grow red ones, white ones, pink ones, and more. A variety like the pink lady slipper only takes 25 days to go from seed to harvest. I plant 16 radishes per square foot. I make the holes about a 1/2 inch deep, drop the seeds in, and cover them up, then water it in. And in just a few days, the seeds will sprout. Then I will go through and thin my radishes to 16 per square foot. And in no time, we'll be eating fresh, delicious radishes. Another crop you gotta get planted in April are potatoes. Digging up potatoes is so much fun. It's like digging for treasure. You never know what you will get. I have grown potatoes in buckets and even in cardboard boxes. They both work great, so don't let a lack of space hold you back. I plant my potatoes about 3 weeks before my last spring frost and space them 6 inches apart. Then cover them with about 5 inches of soil. In a couple of weeks, your potatoes should begin to sprout, and as they grow, go around and hill up some soil around them to increase the production. The next crop to plant in April is beets. They are a super healthy veggie, and I especially like growing the golden beets. It's always a joy pulling them out and slicing into them in the late spring. Like most root crops, beets do best when they're direct sown. I plant my beets 9 per square foot and bury them about a 1/2 inch deep. After they sprout, I'll go by and thin them out. Sometimes I leave about 2 or 3 beet plants together in a clump and allow them to grow like that. They don't seem to mind growing together. Beets grow best when the temperature is between 60 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, so early April is a great time to get your beets planted. I have also regrown beets in the past, and I'd have to say they did a lot better than I would have expected. April is a great time to plant out your onion sets. Onions are a great food crop, but also are fantastic for deterring pests away from the garden. If you want, you could plant your onions from seed, but planting onions from sets is an easy, convenient way to get onions growing, especially now that the weather is warming up. I plant my onion sets about 4 to 6 weeks before my last expected frost, and I plant 9 per square foot. Just make sure when planting your onions that you plant them with the right side up. If you look closely, this flat side is where the roots will come from. We want that pointed down. And this pointy part, this is where the new growth will come from. We want this pointed up. So we'll just dig a small hole and place our onion set and cover it up. Also, at this time of the year, we can get some lettuce planted. I love having lettuce in the garden. It grows quick, it tastes great, and it's easy to grow. Plus, it looks beautiful. When direct sowing my lettuce seed, I plant 4 lettuce seed per square foot and lightly dust the lettuce with about 1/4 inch of soil. Lettuce needs light to sprout, so you don't want to bury them deep. I will plant a few extra seeds in each hole, then come back and thin out the lettuce, leaving 4 plants per square foot. The majority of the time, I will start my lettuce inside and then transplant it into the garden. This is easier in my opinion and allows me to get the most out of my space. Because if I direct sow lettuce, I have to wait for that to sprout. But if I have lettuce already growing, then I could transplant it right into the garden, not waste any time or space, and it just works out perfectly. Another great crop we can get planted in April is Swiss chard. Swiss chard will grow all year long, even through the heat of summer. Plus, it looks beautiful and is an underrated veggie in my opinion. I like to soak my Swiss chard seeds for 24 hours before planting. When planting, I use the square foot method, so that's 4 Swiss chard per square foot. If you don't have any strings or anything to mark out your square foot, you could just take a board like this, drop it down, and outline it since it's exactly 1 square foot. Then I'll make 4 indentations for my Swiss chard. I'll take about 2 or 3 seeds and drop them in each hole. Then we'll just cover them up with some soil and water the whole thing in. After the seeds sprout, I'll go by and thin them out. Swiss chard is an easy crop to grow. Just stay on top of watering in the heat of summer. If you do, it will kick out food for you all year long. For a bonus crop you can plant in April, I'm going with arugula. Arugula grows fast, but will bolt when the summer heat comes. Make sure you get some planted now so you can enjoy the nutty, sharp, unique flavor of the leaves. Arugula is relatively cold hardy and grows best in the early spring and the fall, so make sure you get your arugula planted now. You can direct sow arugula or start it inside and transplant out, which is what I usually prefer to do. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Today was the first day where it actually felt like spring. I mean, spring just came, but it's 70 something. It's beautiful. The sun is shining and the beds are literally heating up. It's exciting, but I would need to make sure, and you guys probably too, that we don't rush into getting stuff planted on one of the first nice days, because I know there's still going to be some frosts that are coming. So we want to make sure that we're not like maybe even planting things like melons now, because melons hate to be transplanted if you're not sensitive with the roots. And if you plant melons out too early and it gets cold out, that can prevent them from fruiting later in their lives. So it's exciting and it's warm, but we can't rush into things. Overall, it's that time of the year where, I mean, I just started to feel so grateful that spring is here, because I was so over winter, especially with all the snow we had here. I mean, we had like, I think it was a couple feet of snow from one storm. It was insane. And over at the homestead, things were looking crazy with how much snow that was. I think I got a little more where I was at the homestead. I wanted to share a thank you to one of our new channel members, Sarah Piccarell. Thanks for being a part of Team Grow. Thanks for having your hand in everything we're doing out here. Over at this garden, the old food forest, you could probably hear the seagulls because we're close to the bay. The seagulls are flying, so you know the nicer weather is here. And it's just such a good feeling to be getting warmed by the sun and to be wearing short sleeves and not have to wear my hat for this video. If you guys want to check out some of the merch, we've got it over at teamgrow.us. This is one of the old school shirts. We've got a lot of new ones, and we're also having a giveaway on the website. So all you got to do is go there, stick your email in, and you could win a free raised bed. We'll catch you guys on another one real soon. We